Hey everybody. You may not know this about me, but I love card magic. It's actually the original reason I got on YouTube in the first place. It's this engineered reality that with the right tools and techniques can be immersive and uncanny. Now, lighting is one of the most powerful tools in this illusion, in the magic of video production. So not surprisingly, most of the time these lights are going to be off screen so as not to kill the illusion. So any fixtures that you do end up seeing in frame, like this one here, are meticulously planned out and are called practicals. Now, practical fixtures don't really provide a ton of luminance. They're not really lighting the scene as they might appear to be doing, hence the illusion, right? But what they do provide is something a bit more abstract, a bit more tenuous that we all need from time to time, called motivation. So today we're going to be talking about the proper use of motivation in our lighting setups, how much, when, all that good stuff, and we'll take a look at a few of my favorite practical fixtures. Like, share, follow, all that razzmatazz, and let's get started. Okay, before we get into the what, let's talk about why we need practical fixtures in the first place. It feels like there's a special film and television production version of like every little thing that costs 10 times as much. Is this like when the Pentagon was listing $10,000 toilet seats and hammers in their budget? Are we just profiteering? Fair question, but actually there's any number of reasons why a regular ass lamp or bulb wouldn't look good on camera. Flicker, right? A lot of modern lights are flashing at a speed that the human eye can't perceive, but if it's out of sync with your shutter speed or frame rate on the camera, it can cause some real issues later. Color is another one. The light could seem like a regular lamp on its own, but could really clash with the ambient video lights we're using or the white balance of the camera. And brightness. When a bulb is too bright, there's certain, techniques you can hit with some streaks and tips, sprays, dips even. They have dips to like ND or CTO and CTB dips. But if it's too dim, on the other hand, what are you going to do? Bring all the other lights down and hope that your camera and lens package can keep up? So, having solved all of these hurdles already with the, regular video fixtures, can't we just take those and shrink them down or something? And so that brings us to our first category, which is just that. Small fixtures, like this little tube light we featured recently on Instagram and Shorts. It's the VL110 from Ulanzi, and it's got magnets on the back and on the ends here. So I like to use it in lamps, especially under the lampshade. Take the bulb out, it sticks to the little frame that holds up the shade, or our hall light. This thing is way too bright on its own, especially at this f-stop. So turn it off, stick a 110 underneath, and voila. It's crazy how good it looks in the background as just a little bokeh ball, right? And plus, these are brick lights, which are another really great example. Most pocket LEDs like that, little guys, especially magnetized ones, are perfect for stuff like this. But that brings me to their only disadvantage, which is their unnatural aesthetic. Up close, it's just one of these stuck under a lamp, right? So usually requires a little bit of sleight of hand in order to use these effectively. Now, the second category we're going to take a look at today are cine bulbs, like this B7C from Aputure. These are regular video fixtures, just like the last one we looked at, except they're manufactured to look like a light bulb, and they really appeal to my inner magician. Now, these things have all the advantages that the last one had, and more. See this little apparatus here? You screw this into a lamp, and it will both turn on and charge the internal battery with the flip of a switch, which is amazing to me. Now, some models look more natural than others, but as long as you meet your needs in that respect, the only real drawback, in my opinion, is price. This one bulb was $70, and it's not one of the expensive ones. Okay, our third and final category is my personal favorite, and that's just these regular-ass LED bulbs for your home fixtures. I got this at Home Depot. It's not any kind of special video light. Now, they do make, RGB versions that are app controllable, and you'll find them a lot of times in the same aisle, but unless it's from an actual video production manufacturer, they're basically just shitty versions of the last one. No disrespect, but what you really want are actual glass globes like this. This is an Edison bulb, and it's made by Fate Electric, F-E-I-T. And that coil in there is actually an LED. I don't know how they do it, but they have a bunch of different models and they're dimmable, and they even have different color temperatures. I have this one model in 4 different color temperatures: 5,000, 3,000, 27, and 2,100 degrees for whatever the occasion calls for, which is awesome. And the best part is they're only like $10 each on average, and they last like a decade or more. So you can outfit an entire location for the cost of a singular cine bulb a lot of times, and you're just not going to beat that price. And in my opinion, you're not going to beat that look either. Okay, now that we've talked about why and what, let's think about how. How do we go about putting these practical fixtures to use? Well, first we want to consider, what it is we're trying to get done with these lights. What are we trying to accomplish with each light? That's what's really going to dictate when and where we put them to use, right? Well, practical lighting is a really great way to add character and substance to your scene and to your backdrop, right? But more importantly, at least in my opinion, your practical fixtures are there a lot of times to justify the light coming from your off-screen fixtures. I'll say that again, your practical fixtures, the ones in frame, are there to justify a lot of light coming from your off-screen fixtures, which are the ones that are actually lighting the scene, right? Watch, we use one of those fate bulbs from earlier, the one in that lamp as an example. Check it out. So, this shot has 2 practicals, right? The lamp and the window. But if we actually lit this scene with just those 2, this is what it would look like. So if these 2 sources aren't giving us any luminance, what are they giving us? The answer is motivation. They're motivating our off-screen fixtures, and we're actually using 4 separate lights besides the lamp and the window to light this shot. By using a warmer light over here and a more daylight fill, it gives the impression that the practical fixtures are the ones lighting our scene. Now, can you imagine if we accidentally got like the warm and the cool lights swapped? If it would have the same effect, or like if we just didn't use any practicals at all? Without the motivation of on-screen fixtures like this, the lighting can feel a bit off. The brain doesn't know where the light's coming from, and subconsciously it can just feel a bit unnatural, kind of like an uncanny valley type of thing. So always keep that in mind when you're placing your fixtures, both on screen and off. Okay, before we wrap up, I almost forgot I've got one last practical I want to check out. This is the L3 from Ulanzi. Cube-shaped little pocket lights like this got really popular for a while, and the L3 is only $50, and it is the best one. It's 5 watts, it's RGB, it's only this big, and it comes with some really great modifiers. I mean, this is just a reflector cone, or actually it's called a diffusion cone, kind of mid, but these barn doors, they have an actual Fresnel lens and a built-in reflector cone. Unbelievable. Blows everything else out of the water that people have been using, especially those ones that are just 4 square-shaped flaps. These ones can actually cut and shape the light like a regular-sized barn door would do. I said this a million times. Ulanzi is more than just a budget manufacturer. They do make these consistent innovations. Like this gobo spot? Are you kidding me? That's insane. It's an actual spotlight attachment, and it even comes with these miniature custom gobos. Blew my mind. Now, the light coming out of the fixture is not the brightest, obviously, so it's better for like macro, close-up situations, product video, but that's just the nature of a 5-watt, RGB cob light, obviously. But as a practical fixture, you can point it right at the lens and get a great looking flare. And a lot of times it's so small you can't even make out the fixture itself, so it's like an isolated flare, which I think has a really great aesthetic. And I use it a lot of times for product B-roll. I just put it on a little miniature tripod like this, and in my opinion, it looks great, especially with these barn doors. All right, y'all, that is everything for today. Thanks so much for stopping by. And if you get value out of my content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. And as always, the gear featured on our channel will be linked in the description. And I finally caved and decided to get affiliate links. So if you do want to cop any of the gear you find on this channel, using my links isn't going to cost you a penny extra, of course, but it will send a small commission my way, which is a huge support to the channel, y'all. So thank you so much in advance for that. If you dig making videos, if you dig watching videos about making videos, then I dare say you've found your clan. It was great to see you. It's always good to have you, and we'll catch you next time right here at the Dymon Mine. Peace.